never compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10. Well, hello everybody, Anthony here. Welcome back to another peak episode of the Single Parents Podcast. This is the podcast for anybody whose life may have turned out, a little less than traditional. Glad to have you joining the show today, whether you've been with us for a minute or you're a brand new viewer / listener. Just very thankful for you all. I truly do appreciate you taking the time to check us out. Just in case you are new, this summer we have deemed Hot Entrepreneur Summer the kind of the focus, kind of the theme of summer 2025 for us here on the SPP has really just been geared towards helping, encouraging our listeners, specifically the single parent listeners, maybe start thinking about taking matters into your own hands when it comes to finances, when it comes to career choices, when it comes to starting something of your very own, whether that's starting a business or just some other venture you've always wanted to do. We really want to encourage our listeners, encourage our hot SPs to think about these things so that way they can just truly consider building something that could impact their family's financial and practical future for the long haul. So we've been talking to business owners, talking to entrepreneurs, talking to financial strategists, and today is no exception because we're going to get ready here in a moment to introduce you to today's business owner guest, Allison. So yes, Allison is one of the owners of an embroidery and design business called Princess and Redneck. Yes, that's the name. I love it. I love unique names like that. So excited to have her on the show because she's been kind of doing her thing for a while now. She has an awesome, beautiful business location, an actual retail location that she meets her clients and customers in. She just finished putting together a spectacular website. All of her info, all of the business info will be in the link of the description of this episode, so you can go check all that out for yourself. But I just specifically wanted to sit down with her because I think it's sometimes easy to delay starting something brand new because we're comparing ourselves at day one, the very beginning, to people who might be doing this and doing their own thing for several years, maybe even over a decade. And so we see them and we see, oh, they got the website, they got the storefront, they got all these client testimonials, and they got all these great things, and I have $30 in the bank and a dream, right? But to Allison's point, where she's going to share so wonderfully, is that we all have to start somewhere. The people that you see online on social media that look like they have it all together, they had rough days at the beginning. They probably still have rough days. They're just not posting those on social media. So don't compare where you are to somebody else because, as Allison said, she might have all these cool things in place now for her business, but things may not have always been like that from the jump. So excited to go speak with her. If you all would love to do a few things before we go over and hang out with our guests, that would be tremendous. And those few things are, number one, maybe consider subscribing to the podcast so you never miss an episode in the future. Second thing is you could rate the podcast 5 stars, highest rating possible on your favorite platform if you think the show's legit. That way we can tell those algorithms out there that the show is legit and it'll pass it along to more people. And the last thing that you could do is maybe consider sharing the podcast with a friend, with a family member, with a neighbor, with somebody with entrepreneurial aspirations that you just think might need a little encouragement, might need a little nudge, and you can share these episodes with them, and hopefully we can provide that. If you're looking for something to step into, you're like, hey, I have a desire to work for myself, to build a business, to be an entrepreneur, to take control of my income stream, but I just don't know where to start. Like, I don't want to start an embroidery business. I don't want to start a cooking business. I don't want to do all these things I've heard you talk about. I just need something, though. Well, I can help you with that because one of my business ventures, my finance firm, is actually looking to recruit stellar individuals right now, bringing them in, getting them licensed and trained as financial professionals because people need a lot of help and we need a lot of people to help these folks. So if you're interested, you're going to learn more about that right now. This episode is brought to you by me at Anthony Crosby Talent Acquisition and Development. Single parents, are you looking to take control of your career and financial future? Well, my finance firm is currently recruiting new agents with a business model similar to real estate. Here's how it works. Let me break it down. First, we'll get you connected with our brokerage, and then we'll help you get fully licensed to work in the financial industry. We fully train you to go out and help clients reach their financial goals and dreams. And something pretty awesome is that no past experience in this industry is required. We're just looking for people who are ready to make an amazing change right now, because I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of people out there who are a little anxious when it comes to money and the economy and tariffs and 401ks and retirement. And we just, as a firm, we're growing, we're expanding at a crazy rate because there's so many people out there who legit just need some good people to help them. And maybe one of those good people could be you. Reach out and let me know if you might be interested in learning more. I'd love to sit down and talk with you to see if this might be a good fit for you and your family. Yes, that's Anthony Crosby Talent Acquisition and Development, where change starts now. All right, everybody, I am here with this week's guests. Give it up for Allison. How's it going?
How are you?
Whew, I'm good. I'm hot. I'm all set up. I literally came in from the hot heat into your lovely business, and I'm good now because I'm sitting down. You guys got the good air going on in here, so I appreciate that.
Of course.
Very, very much. But thank you for joining us this week. As I kind of set up in the intro of this episode, we're just going around talking to different business owners, people who are entrepreneurs, people who are doing their own thing, and just really getting some insight into what it might look for us, especially us as like single parents, to go out and to maybe start a little something. So for you, could you just give us a rundown about who you are, your business, and what exactly do you guys do here at Princess and a Redneck?
Okay. So I'm Allison Anderson. I've been in Elko 15 years this November.
Okay.
I came from Reno, Nevada. I was always in retail or management. Transferred into Carlin, ended up at the mine somehow, and met my husband there.
Nice.
And we went out hunting one day. We were like, hey, let's start a business.
Okay.
And so we're going out hunting, trying to figure out where we're going to go and stuff. And I'm filling out the paperwork because I'm the type of person, I'm like, just dive in. Like, I have an idea, I'm just going to dive in and go for it.
Same.
So we're driving along and I get to the point of needing a business name, and he spouts it off real quick. And within 3 minutes, we had a business, Princess and a Redneck.
Wow, 3 minutes. You guys like speed ran that whole
Oh, yeah.
process. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we were both working at the mines at that time. And in 2020, I had the opportunity to take our business from our 1-bedroom little shack into this building that we're in now.
Sure. Yeah.
We were fortunate enough, we were able to buy one of our competitors
Okay.
and just pick up where they had left off, I guess, and ran with it.
So you guys specialize in custom apparel, correct?
Yes, custom mining apparel, safety apparel. We also do uniforms for law enforcement, first responders, mine rescue,
Nice.
and then a few other things. We do laser engraving, custom shirts,
Yeah.
team jerseys, a little bit of everything.
I was gonna say, yeah, kind of a lot. You guys have like a whole spread going on here.
Yeah.
So how does you, I guess, come up with the whole business idea? Like, what made you decide like this is like what I wanted my business to be about? Because you could start a business doing lots of different things. So why this?
So my husband's mom did embroidery out of her house, and we went to Salt Lake City to visit a shop and to pick up some supplies, and they had this big printer there. And I was like, that's cool. I want that. And it just ran from there. We started with sublimation.
Oh, okay. And then like maybe slowly as the business grew, you guys added more and more stuff.
We added vinyl and laser engraving, and yes.
Nice. So what is your guys' plan for the future? Like, do you guys know where you want to go going forward?
My biggest push is I want to go nation or international. I want to go worldwide. But we're really focused on building a good brand here within Elko.
Okay.
We really like the community. We like being able to support the community and being part of it. So that's really where we want to stay.
Okay, I want to, I guess, follow up on that because I specifically wanted to set up a time to talk to you because you guys seem to have really mastered the concept of like having a good brand and taking that brand and really developing relationships within the community and within your customer base and things of that nature. So specifically, as we're talking to maybe future entrepreneurs out there, can you speak more about what it looks like to build a brand, develop a brand, build trust within that brand? Like, let's just talk about branding for a little bit. How does that look like for you guys?
The first thing is make sure that it's something that really sits with you. There's a lot of brands out there that they just pick a name or they pick a space and it doesn't resonate with you. If it's not resonating with you internally, it's not going to happen externally. That's one of the very most important rules.
That's good.
And then just build from the ground up. Plan ahead, see where you want to be, and then work backwards. That way you have the steps to get there.
Okay.
Instead of trying to conquer everything at once, give yourself a plan, give yourself time, and understand that there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be hurdles. Unfortunately, everything's not perfect, but that's a good thing. That's a really good thing because having to overcome things really resonates with like your customers and your clients.
So with that, specifically when it comes to working with customers, what are some, I guess, big key things to think about when it comes to engaging with customers, working, because at the end of the day, you're working with people,
Right.
and, sometimes you have good people you work with, and I'm sure you had days where you have some not so fun people to work with, but
Yeah.
they're still your customers, right? So what does it look like to have a business that's specifically customer driven, and you got to interact with people, you got to talk with people, you got to work with the difficult people sometimes? What exactly should people know about that aspect?
Fortunately, we've had a really good base with the people. Communication is number one. Make sure that you are communicating with your customers. This is a lesson that actually it's taken me almost 5 years to learn because I'm the type that has always believed that everybody knows everything that's already happening. So I wasn't really good at the follow-up or the tasks. And so I'm learning that. And so communication is absolutely key.
Okay.
Even if you're going to make a mistake or you can't meet the expectations, make sure that you're having that conversation. Get comfortable being uncomfortable because that's where you're going to grow. You're going to expand. When you reach out to a customer and you're like, hey, I messed up. This is what happened. This is how I can fix it. What can I do for you? They're a lot more receptive than oh, well, it's coming. It's coming. I'll see you tomorrow, or just blowing them off completely.
Right. Okay. So your advice would just be, even if it's something awkward or something uncomfortable, still just be honest.
Yes.
People are usually pretty understanding if you approach it that way.
Yeah. And if they're not, like you're not going to please everybody ever. There's always going to be somebody that's unhappy, and that's just part of the way it is. It's the way that everything runs these days.
So what would you say then to, I'm thinking about somebody who maybe wants to get into a similar type of business, a customer driven business, but maybe they're a little more introverted, or maybe that idea of like having those conversations fills them with a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. What would you say to that person who's like, I want to do something like this, but like, it's hard for me just to pick up the phone and call people sometimes. Should they just not get into this type of business, or what would you say?
Oh, absolutely not. Find a mentor. Find somebody who you can work with, who can help you grow and expand.
Yeah.
Use your friends. It sounds silly, but do the mock like interviews and stuff. Sit down with your friends and sell them your idea. Give them the elevator speech.
Okay.
That way you get comfortable with what you're doing. And by the time you go out to hit customers, it's going to just roll off the tip of your tongue. You're not going to have to stop and think. It's going to be automatic.
Yeah.
And when it's something that you're passionate about, you're fueled by it. And so as you get a little bit further along, you get excited and the nerves just go away.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because I'm assuming, right, if you're starting a business, you're starting a business doing something that you really like or really enjoy, right?
That would hopefully be
Hopefully
it.
be it.
I'm sure that there are people who start businesses just as a way to get by, but I think as the way the economy in the world is going, everybody's starting to get into stuff that they enjoy.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, because yeah, right. If you have that true love for it, then even when you do have to have those awkward
Mhm.
conversations, you're still hopefully. I'm assuming like that passion that you have for whatever you're doing will translate to your customers, so they'll know like, okay, sure, maybe so and so messed up, but they're still excited to get me their product or whatever I ordered.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So my next couple of questions, I kind of set them up as like two questions, but one coin, just opposite sides of the coin.
Okay.
Because this is my favorite part. I love this part. I love this part because I love talking to people who do stuff that I have no idea about because I don't know anything about custom apparel or anything like that. But this is why I'm here. I love to learn. So for somebody like me, or maybe somebody out there who can also relate with me, or somebody out there who is learning more about this type of business and wants to get into a similar business and wants to know like some of the realities of it. The first side of the coin is, what are just some aspects about doing this business that you've been doing for a while now that you just really love and enjoy and just get a lot of passion for? We were just talking about that maybe somebody like me on the outside wouldn't even think that you get to experience on a daily basis.
Um, my biggest the one thing that I absolutely love is dealing with people. I love people. Sometimes it doesn't seem like that when you come in the store, but I love people and I love being able to deliver quality products.
Mm,
Um, but there's also the aspect of design and being on the back end.
okay.
Sometimes I do become a little bit of an introvert and I like to hide in my little closet and I close the curtain and I start drawing. One of the other things that we just picked up. So I've always liked going out and doing shows like vendor shows.
Yeah, yeah.
We did the EMS conference. We've done the 4th of July
Okay.
and we've just started doing car shows.
Ooh.
And I've realized that we love that. We go out there with our own camera, our own designs. We take pictures and they get them the same day. They get their cars mocked up, sent out to them on the same day. And it's so much fun watching people with their prized possessions,
Yep.
having something in their hands that they're going to cherish forever. That was exciting.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. I could imagine that working with people brings like a lot of satisfaction to what, because you get to, I mean, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, do you guys do like a lot of like online stuff to where like you send out stuff and you don't really talk to the other person that you're sending it to sometimes, or is a lot of like in-person work?
95% of our orders right now are in person, but we have our website up as of
Yes.
last month.
Yeah. Mhm.
So we are hoping to get our online going a little bit more. But right now, it's a lot of the face-to-face customer service.
Yeah, and I bet you've had times where you just get to like, I don't know, I'm just imagining seeing somebody's face light up when they see the finished product, or come back later and tell you stories about how you just really made their day. I can just imagine like those cool little moments you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah. Or the shout outs. We do get shout outs on Facebook
Yeah.
too.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Okay. So now the opposite side of the coin, and this isn't like, okay, now tell me like what you hate about what you do and all this stuff, but like we're talking about realities, and I'm sure there's realities of the business that you have to work through or have had to work through and overcome. They may not have been the easiest or the most fun. So what are some of like the big obstacles and challenges that you either currently have to work through, especially if you want to get into a business like this, or that you've had to work through and overcome?
I think that the biggest challenge for me has been getting organized and staying organized. I'm a very scattered, I'm going to go 100 ways, 100 different places, and I'll know where everything it is, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that everybody else does. Following up on emails and making sure that you're keeping track of your numbers, because it's really easy to get lost in the we enjoy doing this and forget about why you're doing it.
Okay.
If you're getting into a business, it's obviously to make money.
Yep.
So you have to make sure that you're watching your bottom line. And that sucks because how do you explain that to customers?
So that's a very interesting point I'm going to follow up or expand on rather, because I'm thinking through like somebody like myself. I'll just speak for myself. I obviously have my passions and have my drive and maybe start a business because it's something I really love doing and it's so much fun. But to your point, to keep your business going, you got to do some of the boring stuff, some of the office stuff, some of the
Absolutely.
spreadsheet stuff. So how do you stay, I guess, focused and motivated and finding that balance of like, hey, I don't really want to do all that back end stuff. I'd rather just do all the cool, fun stuff, but I know I need to sit down and do the back end stuff. How do you get that motivation to do that? I'm
Um,
asking for myself because I struggle with that.
it's not motivation, it's scheduling. I schedule the time now.
Oh,
If I'm becoming a calendar, I can't use that word. I'm becoming very strict with my calendars because it's how I manage my time. And as we get busier, so as I schedule the tedious tasks,
yeah.
I also get to schedule the fun ones. Like
Okay.
after I do an hour of QuickBooks, I get to do an hour of design, which is yay.
Okay. So making it in your calendar so that way, because that's a that's helpful for me because I think what I'll end up doing is just say like, okay, I'll get to that like eventually
Oh,
or
yeah.
tomorrow or whenever, and then like I'll just do the fun stuff or I'll mess around doing like random other stuff. But to your point, maybe putting it in the calendar and being like, this is just where I block this off. But once I get this done, then I get to do.
Have a
Yeah.
reward.
Okay, that's a good tip. I seriously, I'm asking that for that. I'm glad I asked that for
Now,
myself.
I didn't discover that on my own.
Okay.
I have an amazing manager. Beth, my manager,
Okay.
she keeps me on track. So,
Nice. So maybe that's another tip, like getting help.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So like, I guess for that, was that easy? Something easy for you to realize that you needed was getting help? Because I know for a lot of people, especially when they're passionate about something, they'll like make it their baby, right? And so they'll be like, well, nobody else will understand, so I'll just do everything myself because I want it a certain way and blah blah blah. But then they burn out and then they're not doing what they started after
Yeah,
the
that was
first
like our first 3.5
so.
years. Yeah.
Okay.
I brought Beth on and then I
Yeah.
slowly started giving her more. And there are times where I'm like, whoa, this is mine. But
Okay.
then I step back and it makes it easier having somebody else. And I know that we can't always do that. So involve a partner or a friend or even a kid. My daughter has been amazing at keeping me tasked too.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's a good point. Well, speaking of kids, a lot of what we're doing on this show is encouraging parents, single parents, just people in general who just need that extra sense of like control in their life to maybe start ventures, not like this, but just whatever they're
Mhm.
passionate about. So I set this next question up by just having you pretend like the camera is somebody who you're sitting down with at coffee and they're like, Allison, like I want to start XYZ business. I want to do this. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to take control of my life and I don't want to do clock in, clock out type work anymore. So you're sitting down with them and they're like, what do I need to know? Or what type of words of advice or encouragement do you have for me? What would you say to that person who's maybe wanting to take the leap, but just still maybe just a little nervous?
The first thing I would say is congratulations. Talking about it makes it that much more real.
Okay.
Make sure that you write down what you want to do and you have a plan and research it.
Mhm.
You can obviously go into it without researching it. I don't recommend that. It doesn't work out very well. We've realized that with some of our growth stuff.
Okay.
Um, and find a mentor or somebody that you can talk to, find a program that you can go to and just bounce ideas off because it's always, we get stuck in our own heads sometimes. So having a sounding board and then just making sure that it's something you're passionate about. If it's something you enjoy, it sounds cliche, but if it's something you enjoy, it's not going to feel like a day of work. It's going to be something that you're going to start and by the end of the day you're going to be like, "Oh no, where did my time go?"
Did you know that at Anthony Crosby Talent Acquisition and Development, not only are we recruiting the next top talent in the financial service industry to come in, get licensed and trained to help a lot of people and make a pretty good living doing it, we also connect individuals and families with licensed financial strategists who love nothing more than sitting down with people and helping them accomplish and succeed in their financial goals and dreams. Thinking about retirement? Do you think it's possible you could leave generational wealth to your children? Speaking of your children, do you know if they're properly protected if something unfortunate were to happen to you? Single parents out there, where are your kids gonna go? Who are they gonna be placed with if something dire does come your way? We sit down, we help break it all down, we come up with solutions that are best for you and your family. And the amazing part about this whole thing, our appointments are 100% free. Yep, all you gotta do is get in touch with us and we'll put you in contact with the financial strategist who will make sure that everything is properly planned out for your financial future for free. We also have an amazing referral program for professionals and business owners who might be looking to add an additional revenue stream to their portfolio. Yes, we're talking about real estate agents, mortgage brokers, property managers, CPAs, and tax professionals. This might be an easy way for you to add additional revenue to your business model. Reach out to us one more time. That's Anthony Crosby Talent Acquisition and Development, where change starts now.
When talking with young entrepreneurs, you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to have an idea of what you want to do and a willingness to try things. It may not happen right away. It may take years. This business, it actually took us 3 years in our garage before we were able to open the store. So we did start this out of our house with both of us working full-time jobs. So don't be afraid to start small. Don't think that it has to be scaled 100% from the get-go for it to be a success. And don't think that because you have fallbacks or you have to start over, that it's not a success, because anything you start is already going to be a success, even if it's just with one person or one word.
I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I don't remember the exact quote, but it's something to the effect of like, we should never compare our chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It's really easy to, look at everything you have here and somebody else who's just starting out and be like, oh man, like I could never be like Allison, because look at her. She has this storefront and she has all these people working with her and she's doing all these things. But to your point, you're like, well, for me to get here, I had to start in the garage and I had to have the day ones and the day twos and the day 700s and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But it's easy, just especially with social media, just to look and see
The pretty
stuff and be like, well, I can't be like that right now, so I guess I won't even do it. So like, that's a really good tip to remember that everybody has to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I guess the last question I just have as we get ready to wrap up today is that as we bring this to an end, is there anything that you really just want the listeners, the viewers of this episode to know about you, Princess and a Redneck? Anything that you just want to make sure the people walk away knowing without a shadow of a doubt?
We are definitely a community-based business. If starting a business is something that you want to do or something you're intrigued with, by all means, come on down. Come talk to me. We are open. I'm open. I don't have a secret plan. I don't have a secret formula that I'm trying to keep from everybody. I will help you in any way I can. And if I can't, I will direct you.
Nice.
If you just want to bounce ideas. Another thing is stay involved in your community.
Okay.
That is where you'll get a lot of your business and a lot of your growth from, is being a member of the community.
Wonderful. All right. And so people want to come down and speak to you. We'll put the address and we'll put all the details of Princess and a Redneck in the description of this episode. But just in case they do want to contact you, can you share the best way for them to get a hold of you, social media or anything like that?
Princess and a Redneck on Facebook. You can also email us. We have Instagram, working on Twitter, but we don't have that yet. Or you can just stop by the store.
There you go. And their website, I was just peeking on it today. It's nice.
Yeah. We just got that up. And that's a lesson. It took me 7 people and 8 years to get my website up.
Oh my God.
I paid 7 people to work on my website, and I finally did it myself. So
you did it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I have to talk to you after this because actually it's so funny and ironic that we were just talking about this because like I was looking at your guys' website tonight and it's really nice. You guys should go check it out.
Thank you.
And I was doing the thing we just talked about. I was like, look at this. They have such a nice website. Man, I'll never be able to do something like this. And like, woe is me. But to hear like you're like, bro, it wasn't like an overnight thing. Like that is just so funny that you brought that up because I literally was just doing that this afternoon.
Yeah, that was my Achilles heel. That was the worst thing. Like it seems so daunting and overwhelming that I didn't want to do it myself. And I finally got tired of paying people. So here we are.
Wow. Well, it is nice. Like I said, we'll put all the links in the description so you guys should go check it out for yourself. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Really appreciate it. A lot of good stuff. I just feel like I feel selfish leaving this conversation because a lot of the stuff you shared was just stuff I needed to hear. So if anything, thank you for doing this for me.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Single Parents Podcast. If you need to get a hold of me particularly, you can do so through our email, which is just thesingleparentspodcast@gmail.com. That's thesingleparentspodcast@gmail.com. All right, everybody. Until next time, we thank Allison for joining us again. My name's Anthony, and you all out there, just stay beautiful. Bye.
Bye.